Hello, everyone. I welcome you all to the final round of Duel of Disputes, a national level turncoat extempo debate organized by the Public Speaking and Debating Society as a part of our national literary extravaganza, Off the Cuff. Let me take a moment to tell you more about PSDS and Off the Cuff. So, the Public Speaking and Debating Society was incepted about a decade ago with the intent of bridging the gap in amongst HR students of the lack of a platform for debating and public speaking. Over the years, it gives me immense pleasure to inform you that the Debating Society, Public Speaking Debating Society, has evolved to be so much more than there is in the name. Now, we cover activities and organize webinars and events that go well beyond the public speaking and debating purview. We have essay writing competitions, we have poetry writing competitions, we have open mics, stand-up comedies, and obviously the debates who serve the core purpose of Arts Club. Now, moving on, let me talk about Off the Cuff. So this is the 8th edition of Off the Cuff, the National Literary Extravaganza. Well, the only thing that's different from the past 7 is that this time we're national. So that's big. And the other thing is that we've decided to have it in a very interesting format this year. So Off the Cuff is not a fest. It's not a conventional fest. It's an event series. We have 5 very amazing events that have been spread across a span of 4 months. From January to April, we have five events, ladies and gentlemen, planned. So the first one was an open mic. The second one was a stand-up comedy. Duel of Disputes is the third one. This is a turncoat debate. The fourth one is an essay submission competition. And the fifth one is a character debate. This is the level to which Off the Cuff has come in the past 8 years. Now, without any further ado, I would now like to pass on the podium to Vanshika Mithani, our chairperson, to address the audience.
Thank you so much, Ayan. I think you did full justice to encapsulating what we all feel about Off the Cuff, our flagship event. Hello and greetings to one and all present here. I am Vanshika Mithani, the chairperson of Off the Cuff for the year 2021. And I would like to take this opportunity to extend a very, very warm welcome to all of you present here as we get set to witness, like Ayan said, a historic moment, because this year the framework that Off the Cuff has premiered in is one of its kind, never before seen format, and all thanks to the kind of team we have on board, to our amazing, our backbone. We have our teacher in charge, Geeta Sahu ma'am, who's been there every step of the way, and the quite possibly the motivation, the mentor that we could have. It was an understatement to say that she's the best we could ask for. We then have our principal, Pooja Ramchandani ma'am, and of course a brilliant OC that we have on board with us this year. Off the Cuff, like we said, isn't a 3-day fest. It is a 4-month national intercollegiate literary extravaganza with 5 national level events. So we could have our students get national level exposure at college level itself. That being said, I think I'm very, very grateful for the opportunities that we have gotten this year. It's been an unusual year, but that hasn't stopped, I think, our team from then exploring new horizons. And we've been very, very lucky with the kind of opportunities that have come our way. We've received some overwhelming responses, even internationally, for our events. And very recently, kudos to this core committee and this organizing committee who released their very own Snapchat India collaboration for this event. You can see the event head smiling because I think that is indeed a landmark moment. And they have their very own Snapchat India lens release, the previous OC released Instagram filter. I think they're growing leaps and bounds, and that couldn't be possible without, of course, the mentorship that I spoke about that we find in our teachers and principals. That being said, I would like to wish everyone all the very best for the closing ceremony. We have an amazing closing ceremony in store for us, and then we have 2 more national level events. So make sure you'll stay tuned to PSDS because we are very excited for what is in store for all of you, and we hope you all are too. That being said,
so I will. Yeah, I'm sorry to cut you out there. Thank you, Vanshika, for the brilliant address. We would also have had our other president, Manushresh Rao, coming up today, but he's actually not doing well, so he was unable to attend the ceremony. Yeah. So he'll be back with us soon. I'm sure he's with us in all our hearts. So that's fine. Don't worry, he's not that unwell. He just has a fever. That's fine. So now, without any further...
Yes, that's exactly what I was coming to. We have Manushree Rao, who's the co-president along with me and being the backbone. He's not well, but he's with us in spirit, and he's been there every step of the way. He wishes us all the very best. That being said, yes, over to you, Ayan.
Thank you so much, Vanchika. So now I would like to call upon Disha Agarwal, who is the event head of Duel of Disputes, to come and introduce this prestigious panel of judges that we have today.
Hi, everyone. As said, I'm Disha Agarwal, the event head of Duel of Disputes. First of all, I would like to take a moment and appreciate all the hard work that our participants and my team has been pouring out. Great job, everyone. Also, it gives me immense pleasure to once again introduce and welcome our prestigious judges for this event. First, we have amongst us Major Muhammad Ali Shah. Major Muhammad Ali Shah is a former soldier and Indian actor and a member of the board of International Film and Entertainment Festival of Australia. He's an international TEDx speaker with the highest number of TED Talks in the world. He is a highly skilled individual when it comes to team motivation, public speaking, debating, and theater. So, honestly, you are a big inspiration to a lot of us present here today. Would you like to say a few more words?
I would love to say a lot many words, but I know we are running short on time, so I would just end over here. And those who are with me in the breakup room, they know how much I love to speak, and I love it. I'm passionate about it. But I love speaking, so they loved hearing me. I don't know if you loved hearing me or not, but I would like to believe that they loved hearing me. But I will recite a poem for you guys. One of my favorite poems. With this poem, a lot of lessons to be learned from this poem. It's my favorite poem by Rudyard Kipling called If. Listen to this. Have you all heard If? Let me say if to you. If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you. If you can trust yourself when all men doubt you but make allowance for the doubting too. If you can wait and not be tired by waiting or being lied about, don't deal in lies. Or being hated, don't give way to hating. And yet, don't look too good nor talk too wise. If you can dream and not make dreams your master, if you can think and not make thought your aim, if you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two impostors just the same, or bear to hear the truth you've spoken, twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, or wash the things you gave your life to, broken, and stoop and build them up with worn-out tools. If you can make one heap of all your winnings and risk it on one turn of pitch and toss, and lose, and start again at your beginnings and never breathe a word about your loss. If you can force your heart and nerve and sinew to serve your turn long after they're gone. And so hold on when there's nothing in you except the will which says to them, hold on. If you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings and not lose the common touch, if neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, if all men count with you, but none too much. If you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, yours is the earth and everything that's in it, and which is more, you'll be a man, my son, right? And there's another very popular letter which Abraham Lincoln wrote to his son's teacher when he was just starting his school. Since you all would be graduating into very fine leaders tomorrow, because as you all know, a boss says I, a leader says we. A boss tells you to do it, a leader shows you how to do it. A boss tells you to be there on time, a boss himself reaches there before time. A leader leads by personal example, and I learned that while I was in the army. I learned the corporate sector after the IIM when I entered college, entered the corporate sector. College, I'm also back in that college mentality. But let me tell you what Abraham Lincoln wrote to his son's teacher when he was starting school. He wrote, I'll end on this letter because I can go on for 24 hours also, but I'll stop here. He wrote, "My son starts school today. It is all going to be strange and new to him for a while, and I wish you would treat him gently. It's an adventure that might take him across continents, all adventures that probably include wars, tragedy, and sorrow. So, dear teacher, will you please take him by his hand and teach him things he will have to know? Teaching him, but gently if you can. Teach him that for every enemy there is a friend. He will have to know that all men are not just, all men are not true, but teach him also that for every scoundrel there is a hero. For every crooked politician, there is a dedicated leader. Teach him that 10 cents earned is of far more value than a dollar found. In school, teacher, it is far more honorable to fail than to cheat. Teach him the wonder of books, but also give him quiet time to ponder about the extreme mysteries of birds in the sky, bees in the sun, and flowers on a green hill. Teach him to have faith in his own ideas, even if everyone tells him they're wrong. Try to give my son the strength not to follow the crowd when everyone else is doing it. Teach him to listen to everyone, but also to filter all that he hears on a screen of truth and take only the good that comes through. Teach him to have the courage to be impatient. Let him have the courage to be impatient. Let him have the patience to be strong. Because only then he will always have sublime faith in mankind, in himself. This isn't the order, teacher, but see what best you can do. He is such a nice little boy, and he is my son." Thank you very much, and I don't want to take more of your time. Great, guys. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. That was indeed incredible. Yes, the Josh is indeed high. Moving on, we have Miss Nishtha Sanduja. Miss Nishtha Sanduja is an advocate at the Delhi High Court, specializing in criminal and IPR laws, who also bagged the gold medal from Amity Law School and is a selected candidate for LLM at London College and London School of Economics. She works with multiple student organizations to impart legal knowledge to the common man. Ma'am, debate has always been an integral part of your life. Would you like to unmute and say a few words?
Thank you so much. Thank you, this entire team. As I've already said, it has been a brilliant event so far. And as Major Sir has already said quite a few words, I think we'll move right away towards this particular debate because I'm able to see all the anxious faces right here. Okay, so probably the remarks can be left over for the end of the session if at all we have time. But let's first begin with the debate, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Next, we have with us Mr. Amit Hans. He is a successful entrepreneur and incredible communicator who has specialized in public speaking and has spoken multiple times on TEDx. Mr. Amit has founded 2 successful enterprises, EduCorp Consultancy Services and EduCorp Training. So your ideology of entree training in an entertaining way is a total mantra that many academic institutions and even young entrepreneurs swear off by. Can you please unmute and say a few words?
All right. Thank you so much for inviting me and be a part of a panel that comprises army officers. So thank you for your services, sir. And advocates, I think equally respectable, profession. The judiciary is very, very important. And the third one comprises of, yours truly, who is an educationist. I would also like to, kind of, bask in the glory at the same time. I don't have much to say, to be very honest. I think, you guys would be, raring to go. And I think that must be given. The only thing that I would want to tell from my side is the story that I shared with the group, the room that I was, facilitating. So I just thought that while I was talking, suddenly I was reminded of my own college days and my own childhood, my own formative years. And I was reminded of, the fact that how scared I was of communicating, especially in English. All right. So, because when you guys told me that one of the ideologies of this entire debating club is that people should come out of their own fears, I immediately connected with it. It just resonated with me because I had been a person who was extremely, extremely scared of it. And I was sharing it because this is what I was reminded of, that I remember when I started preparing for CAT and MBA, people made fun of me. I'm from Haryana, so people would not know much about Haryana. A lot of you may not know it, but people in Haryana, we have got an amazing sense of humor, which is always at the expense of other people. So I was the butt of their joke, because when I told them that I was preparing for MBA and CAT, so people started making fun of me कि जाट उसमें अंग्रेजी होती है. And I still remember that I was so bad at it that I had never read an English newspaper till the time I got into my engineering college. So I still remember all out and out Hindi medium background, and extremely, extremely scared of it. And coincidentally, what happened was that I don't know what fell in place, and I got a call from IIM Ahmedabad. And I remember that I could not even open the gate of my interview hall because I was too scared. Because I remember when I got that call, the first feeling of mine was mazak mein call to aa gaya, but now who would speak in English in the interview? So I still remember that I was so scared of it. Different story altogether, how later on I realized that it is not the English part that they are checking, it is actually the communication that they are checking. And that day when I realized the difference between English speaking and communication, I think I became at peace with myself. And that is where the journey started. And today, there's a lot of self-adequacy that I feel that over so many years, a guy who could not speak even a single sentence in English, today has been invited at platforms such as TEDx. I've been invited 5 times. And interestingly, I now today get invited by the IIMs to conduct communication workshops, English speaking workshop, the same guy. So I don't know how it all started, but I'm very sure that it was more of a process and not an event. So my request to all those people who could not make it to the final round, please understand that just look at it as an event. Whoever wins is just a part of an event, and whoever could not be a part of this thing again was a part of the event. Try to have the bigger picture in mind and look at the process. This one event is actually a process, is maybe the beginning of a process that I somehow had at a point of time, and later on gradually I became what I finally became. All right. So on that note, I request all of you people to, as I told in the room also, to enjoy this entire process. And I'm very sure that things would always work for you. All right. So thank you so much. On that note, I'm going to one single line for the organizing committee. Brilliant job, guys. Honestly.
Absolutely.
I haven't planned, yeah, and I totally, and I mean it. I'm not at all saying it because I'm a part of or formally and politically correct statements are to be said. I'm genuinely telling you, the way you people have organized is extremely professional. I really liked it. I've been an HR consultant and a corporate trainer in so many organizations. This is exactly what we look for. So really happy, with the way you guys have arranged it.
Thank you.
All right. So over to
I so resonated with what Amit said, but I'll share a small secret. I shared the secret of I'm my own grandpa with you all. While this was happening, I quietly slipped in a private chat message to Nishta Sanduja over there. And she was very sweet to oblige. I told her, Nishta, just give me your time to speak. And she said, okay, Major, I'll give you my time. And so she was very kind to oblige me on that. So thank God, thanks for balancing that out, Nishta. Very sweet of you. And Amit, amazing. I am so inspired by what he spoke. Thank you.
And we would definitely I request all of us to, spend some time, because I would personally want to hear Nishta's story also. As a storyteller,
absolutely. I'm just, I was actually seeing all these anxious faces of the participants.
Yes.
See, the organizing team is at one with us right now. But even I would love to have a heart-to-heart with all of you, but right after the session.
Done deal.
Done deal. Right, Amit sir. Right,
Okay.
Major sir. Okay then.
Thank you, judges. Thank you so much. Now, without any further delay, we shall begin with the final round of Duel of Disputes. I thus request our Vice President in charge, Ayan Ali Shah, to take this further.
Thank you so much, Lisa. Thank you, judges, for the kind words. Before we begin with the debate, let me take a moment to introduce yet another very prominent and very key person. Obviously, I'm talking about our in-charge principal, Pooja Ramchandani, ma'am. So, I asked myself that how was it possible that PSDS this time finally managed to organize a national event? Why were we doing it like only college level for the 7 years, and how did it become national in the 8th year? It was because Pooja ma'am keeps encouraging us that, okay, students, go ahead, do these events. I'll give you whatever support you need. And it is because of Pooja ma'am's support that, well, we are all here and we are doing so well. So Pooja ma'am, all the finalists are waiting. This is the opening ceremony of the final round. So if you can please just motivate them, that would be really great, ma'am.
I think, thank you, Ayan. So good to see you here, you talking. And he's giving me the credit for this program, but actually the credit goes to all the PSDS team mentored by their own leaders in SYs and TYs. And today I can proudly say that some months back, I think Vanshika and some students called me and I said, what are you doing? They said, we want to do off the cuff. And I said, how many days you will do? She said, once. I said, what will you achieve out of it? 10 students will come and speak. So what's a great deal? I want this to go on and on and on. 2 different events, give them an opportunity to come and speak in public. So when I was listening to Amit ji, I could relate to my own self in June 2000 when I joined HR college. Nobody will believe that I could hardly talk. A small town girl from a very small district of Ulhasnagar. God know, people know Ulhasnagar, but the confidence that they have on the people from them was so different that we were looked down upon. People were not, "Arey, kahan se gaon se aa gayi hai," and so on. Yes, we were also not confident, and I could relate to Amit and say how people used to treat us in the faculties or colleagues or students. But I must say that HR was a big family who treated us like a family. Wherever I am from doesn't matter. What matters is whether I can take on from where I started to where I've reached today. So that's my dream, that anyone who joins HR college should be the one that can go out in public and speak for hours and hours together, and people should say, Baskar Baba, Abhi Baskar. That's what my dream is. When they go out for jobs, their communication skills, their public speaking skills is what matters. And I think PSDS have become my warriors to ensure that everybody at a national level will get an opportunity to come and talk and show their talent, try their talent. Winning is not important, but at least you started. I think the day I started in HR, I got an opportunity, and today I stand here as in charge principal. The journey was beautiful, and platforms like PSDS were never available to us when I was in my own college. And today, I think students, you all are blessed in HR and outside colleges where PSDS people, warriors or brand ambassadors are sitting and giving out an opportunity to everyone to come out and speak. And believe me, when they hold these events, they hold it like a family. They hold it like a family. So they have nobody will be a competition. They just do it like, I'm your friend, I'm your family, come and at least speak. So a stand-up comedy or a debate like today, I think I must give credit. They're giving it to me. But I remember June 2000 when I joined HR, when I was listening to Amit ji, I think PSDS, only thing I can do is salute to all of you for giving out or coming out with these ideas, which I can never imagine. So hearty congratulations, and may the best win. All the best to all the people. Rock it. Forget who is watching you. Switch on your camera and imagine you are in front of a mirror. That's it. Do well. All the best. And brand ambassadors of HR College PSDS team, I am happy when Amit, Natasha, and the other judge, Mr. Mohammed, was praising you. I felt proud. And as a mother, as a principal of this college, I think you made my day. Saturday is a weekend, but you made my entire week. So hearty congratulations to all of you. God bless you all.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for the kind words. I couldn't even begin to put in words how great it felt when you said that we've done so amazing work. That salute to PSDS. I mean, that was so great. So thank you, ma'am, for all of those words. And I'm sure the participants must also now feel motivated and to sort of go ahead and accelerate. And just to increase that motivation by a notch, I would like to now invite Geeta Sahu, ma'am, our faculty advisor, who has also been of great support to us. And it was her who guided us in the moments of darkness and who showed us light to how to go ahead with this event. So, ma'am, please take the stage and please do motivate the audience.
Yeah, so I kind of agree with Nishtha that the participants are anxious and they would like to start the final round of debate, and then we'll have the vote of thanks and everything at the end of it. And I think as far as the three judges are concerned, they have their own, I mean, there's so much potential that probably Vanshika and Manu and you all should think about having independent programs with all these judges, so that we can have some more mentorship coming that way. So right now, all I want to say is thank you, Pooja ma'am, and thank you, judges. Thank you, participants. This is a wonderful, wonderful organizing team, and let us go ahead and have this last final round of our debate. So wish you all the best, everyone.
Thank you so much, ma'am. So now, without any further ado, the moment is now here when we can finally begin the debate. Before we do, I will go over the rules once again so that you all are sure of what to expect and what is to happen. So as mentioned before, the participants must keep their videos on at all times. You will be asked to unmute when you are to speak, and at all other moments, you're expected to be on mute. Any obscenities, profanities, vulgarities, or bad words used in speech shall be strictly taken against the participant and may even lead to immediate disqualification. With those round rules set, let me also talk about the rules for the final round. So in this round, each speaker shall get a total of 3 minutes to speak on the topic. Everyone shall be speaking 1.5 minutes for the motion and 1.5 minutes against the motion. A reminder shall be provided to you when half of the time, that is 1.5 minutes, have elapsed, and another one will be provided 30 seconds prior to your total time being elapsed. So, Rajas, are you present?
Yes, I'm there.
So Rajas here will be the timekeeper. He will be the one who will constantly be putting messages in the chat box to make sure you keep an eye there as well. Now, I would like to call upon Brianna Fernandez, who will speak on the topic, couples should sign short-term contracts instead of marriage. You may go ahead.
Good evening. Can anyone just tell me when I have to start, like when the timer starts ticking?
Yes, I'll give you a count of 3.
Perfect. Okay.
So
and am I audible?
Yes, you're perfectly audible.
Perfect.
So at the count of 3, 1, 2, 3.
Couples should sign short-term contracts instead of marriages. Well, I speak for the motion when I say this because I want to support this with a quote that I've always loved. Nothing lasts forever. And I think marriages are the same and they come under this too. If you talk about things that are happening far away in the USA, 42 to 45% of marriages end up in divorces. If you talk about your own hometown, in India, in Mumbai, we have so many people who are not happy with their marriages and who can't live with the same person for a long time. Talking about marital rapes, we have 79% women every day who are raped at home, and 50% of them don't even know that they're being raped. With practices like sati being so predominant in a country like ours, I don't think marriages should last forever. Talking about Gen Z, well, all of us don't even perfectly know ourselves. How are we supposed to know another person for a lifetime? When every day we are struggling with our own identities, how are we supposed to know about another person and take care of their needs forever? Sometimes we fail to understand another person and we don't really know how they are just by spending a few months with them. Hence, I think marriage should not be something that should occur for a lifetime. There should be a shorter contract where you get to spend time with the person you love, but for a smaller period of time. I will be switching to my next side and speak against the motion already. Speaking against this motion. Today, again, speaking about Gen Z, we put our education first and we leave our relationships for last. that leaves us behind with us starting our marriages in our late 30s and 40s. Is this fair when we get married and we have our own kids? If we end our contract in a short period of time, who will then take care of our own children? That, my dear friends, is a major problem that we face when we say short-term contracts should be taken into consideration. That's when marriages come, when you have an institution, when two people take care of someone with all of their hearts. Dave Willis says, love is not a feeling, it is a lifetime commitment. Talking about centenarians, if you've ever asked them what is their secret to a long life, they've said their assistance from their partner. Marriage, that is what has kept them alive. That is what has kept them going. And that is why I say that marriages should be, the legacy of marriages should be kept alive. And that is how I end my debate. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Brianna. Judges are requested to note that the speaker was well within her time limit. Now, let me call upon the second speaker for the day, that is Armana Randhawa, who will be speaking on the topic, Talent Guarantees Success Better Than Hard Work.
Thank you. Can you please let me know, am I audible?
Yes, Armana, you're audible. I'll give you count of 3 and then you may begin. So at the count of 3, 1, 2, 3.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Armana Randhawa, and I would like to speak for the motion Talent Guarantees Success Better Than Hard Work. Steven Spielberg, Deborah Meaden, J.K. Rowling, Walt Disney, Thomas Edison are some of the most successful people in the world. And one more thing that they have in common, except for success, wealth, and fame, is the fact that all of them failed school or did badly in school at some point in their lives. Since school is taken as such a benchmark of how well one does in life, at least initially. But I believe that inherent capability overshadows the set institutionalized system of how we grade people to do well. Leaving aside school also, there's some things that cannot be taught and people are still wonderful at them. Some professions like ice skating, wine tasting, dog food taster, odor judges, professional sleepers, Netflix binge watchers. I mean, are we ever trained for anything like this?
You may continue.
Sorry. But still, some things just cannot be taught. Let's take literary arts, culinary arts, for example. You can go to a culinary school, you can go to a drama school, but if you're not good at it, if you're not talented, you may never make the cut. So where does this inherent capability come from? It cannot be taught. Is every engineer, out of so many engineers in the world, Elon Musk? No. Innovation and creation is what makes you a good engineer. And that's why I would also like to talk about my debating experience. I've never been professionally trained, but it's something that I've done for 10 years on a small or a big level. And I enjoy doing it. I've never been trained. And I still think that talent has helped me more than hard work. It's made me deal with, technical issues and in real life if something wrong has happened. Now I'd like to speak against the topic. I don't think hard work can overshadow talent. I'm a CA student, and if there's one thing that the Chartered Accountancy course has taught me is that to deal with hectic schedules, failure over years, multiple attempts, you have to choose a life between your college life and your coaching life. There's like 7 hours a day, every day of the week. Out of a 1.2 billion population, you only have 305,000 CAs because hard work is the only thing that will make you successful. Math as a subject teaches us that. Until unless you practice, your concepts are of no help. Serena Williams, the number world tennis player in women's singles, still practices 3 hours every single day and another 2 hours at the gym. My granddad was Dara Singh. He was a world famous wrestler and he worked out for 67 years at a stretch. You are only as good as you want to be, as you try to be. Success makes you not take anything for granted, because anything that comes easy in life is not worth keeping. Talent will make you think, even if I don't work hard today, if I skip my routine, if I don't study, if I don't practice, I'll still be great at it. It makes success get to your head. Hard work makes you know that you've come here because you've put in a certain amount of effort. You're not the best in the world. Anyone can take your place. The human mind is trained in such a way that the more we practice, the more we train it, the better we can get. Just because I was great in school doesn't mean I'll be a good chartered accountant. It bursts your bubble of, the pedestal you put yourself at. Thank you. That's all I want to say.
Thank you, Randhawa. I beg your pardon. Thank you, Armana. So the judges are requested to know that the speaker was once again well within her time limit. Now, the next person that we have is Vaishnavi Shetty, who will be speaking on the topic, Mumbai should be made the capital of India.
Should I start?
Yes, I'll give you a count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Hello. So first I'll be speaking for the motion. A capital should be located in a place which promotes inclusive development and equality in social and economic development of the country. Mumbai, as we all know, is inspirational, vibrant, prosperous, and a modern city with a cosmopolitan and philanthropic outlook, which makes it an optimal choice. Nearly 40% of the land in Mumbai is under no development zone. And it is quite feasible for the government to develop this dormant real estate to build a parliament house and other infrastructure needed for the capital. Mumbai also has the great advantage as most of the trades happen here. It has the greatest advantage of sea and all the trading ports. Along with it, stock trades and other trades also happen to be in Mumbai. Mumbai stands to be having state-of-the-art infrastructure that includes always expanding roads, continuous construction of flyovers, new airports, and always expanding railway lines for more ease, and which will make it an optimal choice. Now, against the motion, a capital is a seat of power. It is more of a political entity than a commercial or industrially sound district. For instance, Washington, D.C. is a capital instead of New York or Los Angeles. So Delhi makes an ideal capital. A capital should be situated in a strategic location in the country. A capital reflects the defense capabilities of the country. It should be located in such a place which makes it impregnable, as it is known when the capital is lost, the country is lost. Mumbai continues to be vulnerable to aggressions from the sea. Shifting of capital would lead to accumulation of wealth in and around the capital, causing much social and economic disparity within the country. And as we all know, Mumbai is already overcrowded and a migration hub. Moreover, Mumbai is already a financial capital of India. And lastly, shifting of capital may cause loosening of stronghold on north and northeastern borders due to polarization of the power in the southern part of the country. Thank you. I'm done.
Okay. Thank you, Vaishnavi. Once again, the judges are requested to note that the speaker was well within her time limit. Now, after Vaishnavi, next person coming up on the stage is Shreya Arora. She will be speaking on the topic, abortion should be made illegal.
Yeah, am I audible and visible?
Yes, Shreya, you are. So at the count of 3, you can begin. 1, 2, 3.
So the motion for today is abortion should be made illegal. And firstly, I'll be speaking in favor of the motion. First, I'd like to clarify what abortion is. It is a voluntary termination of a pregnancy that happened due to certain unforeseen circumstances, or in putting it into other simpler words, taking away the life of an individual just because a woman denies to take up the responsibility of that child. Now, abortion is cruel and painful, not just for the child who's losing the life, but also for the woman who goes through this entire process. Let me tell you that to carry forward the process of abortion, a certain syndrome known as alcoholic syndrome is given to the fetus, and providing this to any living human being would be immoral, and so to a fetus, and is also going to have certain long-term impacts on the body of women in a very long term. Now, there have been certain states who have passed the laws or heartbeat laws, according to which if the heartbeat is detected, it is illegal to get the child aborted. And the example of a country that has dealt very well with the situation is Alabama, where the governor has signed a petition where the doctors are criminalized for carrying the process of abortion, and the women who are unable to take up the responsibility are provided adoption agencies where they can drop that child, and couples who are unable to take up the responsibility can can get the child with, they can get blessed with the child. Now, changing my stand, now speaking against the motion, I would like to say that abortion should definitely be made legal. No law, no official, no individual has the right to tell what a woman should do with her body, because I would like to tell you that there are many hormonal changes that a woman goes through in the process of motherhood, a lot of emotional, psychological, and financial changes that she has to go through, not just while raising the child, but while that child is in her womb itself. And no one, I repeat, no one, no law or official or governor should have the right to let her decide not allow to make her a decision what she wants to do with her body. Other than that, unplanned pregnancies are still going to prevail. In Brazil, where abortion has been banned, women are still going through the process just behind the doors because they are unwilling to take up the responsibility. And they are resorting to other unsafe measures because the government, the so-called government officials, do not give them the right to decide what they have to do with their body. So they have to resort to other unsafe, and that has caused certain injuries. And more than 53% of women in Brazil had to go through the painful process because the government did not allow them to do so. Other than that, women understand the best what is happening, and it would be wrong, ethically wrong on the part of a woman as well, because if the child is not given the right attention by a mother, she's not ready to take up the responsibility, and then bringing that child into existence would not just be wrong with the woman but with the child as well. So with that, I would like to rest my case by proud to speak in favor of the motion that I strongly believe that abortion should be made legal in every country. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Shreya, for the speech. Now, next we have Sanya Girish, who is going to speak on the topic, only the rich should be taxed.
Hello, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, Sanya, you're audible. So at the count of three, the stage is all yours. 1, 2, 3.
So, there is no worse tyranny than forcing someone to pay for what he doesn't want to pay just because you think that it is profitable for him. A very hearty good evening to our respected judges, principal ma'am, the teacher in charge, and all the committee members present, and our hearty audience attending today's evening meet. Myself, Sanya Mhatre, and today I'll be presenting my views for and against the motion, only rich should be taxed. So, moving towards for the motion. I would like to sprinkle some facts first. Number one, we would be shocked to know that nearly 77% of our nation's total income is being earned by only 10% of India's population, which are the rich ones. Isn't this shocking? Now, I will explain about what the tax rates and what tax slabs are. So, how do we impose tax in our country? It's basically there are tax slabs which are updated in the Annual Finance Act, in the Income Tax Act of 1961 by our Honorable Finance Minister every year. So, based on this tax slab, the people in our country are the tax are levied on them. These are all based on the wealth they own. So, clearly, we all know India is a democratic country. We say of the people, for the people, by the people. So, isn't this a statistical inequality? We do see that there is such deviation, 77% the population, the wealth we see. And on the other hand, the poor people. So, we should really think on this. So, next, moving towards against the motion, I would like to proceed by saying that whether it be India or any nation, it can be only run on the basis of the rules and the regulations. Now, these rules and regulations are effective only if they are implied properly and equally to all the citizens, be it rich or it poor. Because when there is duality, there is no sense of equality. And where there is duality, we find the politicians always putting their nose in between. We all know what's happening in our country. So, we should think on it. And I would like to mention one more point. As Warren Buffett, everyone know him. He says, see, if you're born poor, it's definitely your fault. But if you die rich, it's your fault. Because you get many chances to earn something. If you earn something, you can pay tax for the country. You can contribute to the nation's development. After all, tax is for improving the facilities which we get from our nation. So whether rich or poor, we should focus on paying tax. Lastly, I would like to rest my point on the note that be it rich, be it poor, doesn't matter. In this universe, nothing is certain, but only two things are certain. That is death and tax. Thank you so much for this wonderful opportunity. Thank you. Hope I was convincing to the audience. Thank you.
Thank you, Sanya, for the speech. Judges are requested to know that the speaker was well within her time limit. Now, next, I would like to call upon Aisha Merchant, who will be speaking on the topic, drug addicts should be helped rather than be punished.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes. At the count of three, Aisha, the stage will be all yours. 1, 2, 3.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Aisha Merchant. Second chances are not given to make things right. They are given to prove that we could be better even after the fall. Zac Efron, Johnny Depp, Robert Downey Jr., Angelina Jolie, Lady Gaga are some people we might look up to. But did you know that they were all once drug addicts? I am of the view that drug addicts should be helped rather than be punished. There are better ways to control drug use than to punish the user. People can get addicted to drugs faster and easier than other people due to how people are raised or even their social environment. But would you punish a diabetic? Addiction has been called a disease for a long time. We still don't treat it like a disease and tend to blame the addict for their own disease. If we help them rather than kicking them when they're down, they could get the help they need and become productive members of society. Treating drug-involved offenders provides a unique opportunity to decrease substance abuse and reduce associated criminal behavior. Emerging neuroscience has the potential to transform traditional sanction-oriented public safety approaches by providing new therapeutic strategies against addiction that could be used in criminal justice. However, as Elizabeth Fry correctly stated, punishment is not for revenge, but to lessen crime and reform the criminal. Drugs have been declared illegal by law. If we cover up one type of crime, this will lead as a precedent for all crimes and will be used as an excuse for all criminals, thus making society unsafe. Substance abuse and addiction have grave consequences on our existing social system, affecting crime rates, child abuse, and child neglect. The idea of treating drug users as criminals came from the fact that they use or are in possession of drugs which by law are declared illegal. According to legal logic, anybody who uses or is in the possession of illegal things, be they drugs or guns or counterfeit money, is deemed a law offender. When a drug addict says, "Not my fault, I was under the influence," or not, if you choose the crime, you should do the time. But perhaps in this case, the time is not best spent in a prison cell. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Aisha, for that speech. Judges are requested to know that the speaker was well within the time limit. Next, I would like to call upon Nikita Jadhav, who will be speaking on the topic, "Every successive generation is born with a more potent mind than the previous."
Hi, can you hear me and see me?
Yes, we can, Nikita. So at the count of 3, the stage will be all yours. 1, 2, 3.
You can't choose your family, so it seems unfair to admit that your parents will play a huge impact on your own IQ or your own intelligence. If we look around, we see so many types of individuals who are successful, and we see the various ways in which they are successful. You spend a majority of your time with your family, and they're primarily involved in shaping you into the person that you are right now. The knowledge and expertise that your parents impart on you is a vital part of your childhood. Research shows that your genes play a significant impact on your own IQ. Furthermore, every parent wants their child to succeed and to prosper. So every parent does their best to make sure that their children are provided with all the necessary resources needed for their success. This thus leads to a cumulative increase in the level of knowledge being passed through generations. So if an individual is born into a family which is considered as a successful family, their parents would have the knowledge about how to get to that level of success, and they would happily pass on that knowledge to their own children. Thus, it would mean that this next generation would have a base knowledge, which has been passed on by their parents, and it gives them a head start as compared to the other children. On the contrary, a successful family will not guarantee that you'll have a higher IQ or that you'll be just as smart or as clever as your parents, as I believe it depends on your own drive and enthusiasm. Furthermore, a more in-depth study has gone to show that the experiences which you have garnered and the way in which you have utilized the resources are much more impactful towards your intelligence. But it is important to understand that you are a product of your environment and the environment in which you've been placed. So if an individual is born into a family which is not a conventionally successful family, it would lead to a disadvantage. However, it has been proven time and time again that individuals who come from less privileged backgrounds have a much greater drive, a thirst, and a hunger for knowledge and success. So just like a prestigious school won't guarantee your success, an intellectual family will not guarantee a high level of intelligence. So to conclude, a successful generation doesn't necessarily guarantee a more intellectual individual. There are thousands and thousands of people who come from underprivileged backgrounds and achieve a high level of intelligence and success. So it doesn't matter who you are from, who your parents are. What matters is the effort that you are willing to put in order to achieve a high level of intelligence and success. Thank you.
Thank you, Nikita, for that speech. Now, I would like to call upon Manya Murlai, who will be speaking on the topic, movies are a better source of entertainment and learning than books are.
So a very good evening to one and all present here. The topic that has been assigned to me is movies are a better source of entertainment and learning than books. But I strongly believe that movies and books are like apples and oranges. They both are fruits, indeed, but they taste completely different. A movie helps you visualize all the elements of a book that were previously confined to your imagination. Personally, being an admirer of music, I believe that the added benefit of the musical component enhances the experience of watching a film. For example, there could be a car crash in a book, but imagine a car crash in a movie with a boom. The experience is completely different. Again, the movie, The Theory of Everything, which portrays the story of Stephen Hawking, it conveys an emotional thought, but at the same time, it reinforces the idea that knowledge is going to take you ahead no matter what obstacle stands before you. Therefore, movies definitely succeed in terms of their visual approach. On the other hand, speaking against the motion, reading is the quintessence, the must-do factor that triggers the motive of a character and visualization. There is a writer that brings out the sense of creativity and refinement. We all have seen our parents and grandparents engrossed every morning on an easy chair reading a book or a newspaper. There is a moral in everything that is nurtured around us and the environment. Time and again, our teachers have always asked us to read between the lines in order to understand something better. I personally believe that a book is a cautious prefix to a creation. What succeeds is a visual effect, such as a movie, which is a refinement. And again, when you think about it, when you use the word well for a person, you say that the person is well read and not well movied. Thank you.
Thank you for that speech, Manya. Judges are requested to note that the speaker was well within her time limit. Now, we have the last speaker for the final round, Nuha Sharif, who will be speaking on the topic, personal audio devices such as headphones or earphones are better than speakers.
Waiting for your count.
Okay, great. So at the count of three, you'll have the stage, Nuha. 1, 2, 3.
Good evening to the esteemed judges, the dignitaries, and my fellow competitors. I love music, and my thoughts are put best by Khalil Gibran's quote, "Music is the language of the spirit. It opens the secret of life and brings peace, abolishing strife." The motion put forth today is as close to music as the body is to the soul. Personal audio devices are better than speakers. Speaking for the motion, I'd like to start by telling you about my love for music. I've loved music ever since I was a child. It was an escape for me, but my parents disapproved of it. They would even ground me if they caught me listening to music. And so headphones were a great lifesaver for me. I could listen in the privacy of my own room without my parents catching me. Hallelujah. Moreover, headphones allows you to drown into the experience of music, getting lost in every lyric and every sound. And I mean, there's no greater joy than dancing alone in your room without being interfered by anyone. Moreover, I'm also a writer and a poet, and an amateur one. And whenever I listen to music in my headphones, the experience just helps me lose in the music. And let me tell you, some of the best stuff I've written while wearing headphones and listening to music. Also, moving my personal experiences aside, it is kind of proven that they have better sound quality, and there's a different channel for the left ear and different channel to the right ear, so the overall experience is just amazing. It also blocks out the noise by the surroundings, so it's great for when you're traveling in the noisy Mumbai local. I mean, I always listen to music, and I always have headphones on during when I'm traveling by train, and it actually helps you get actually helps you, lose the noise. And it's great for doing daily mundane things. So I love to listen while traveling, and that sounds great, right? Could be dangerous too. Speaking against the motion, I'd like to point out that accidents can happen while you're wearing your earphones. This is not an accident. It was, thank God, not as serious, but I was in a train once listening to music on full volume, and I missed 3 stations. I went 3 stations ahead because I missed the lady saying, Agla station, Kalyan. And this is just a small thing, small mistakes that can happen, but there can be bigger mistakes. My brother also loves listening to music, and when he was new to driving, he would wear headphones and drive. And one day he couldn't hear the honk behind him, and he got hit by another vehicle. Thank God he was safe, but this just shows us how dangerous wearing headphones in an outer space could be. So what to do next? Speakers are a better use for this. Sure, they're not as you can't indulge in the music as much, but
Duha, your time is up. You may complete your sentence though.
All right. I'd like to conclude by saying it doesn't matter what you're doing. It's up to your preference, and enjoy the music. Thank you.
Judges are requested to know that the speaker exceeded a time limit by a short span of seconds. So, ladies and gentlemen, with that, we've come to the end of a rather great round of 9 speeches by our 9 finalists. I personally got to learn a lot seeing you all debate. So that was a good experience for me. And I'm sure the audience also has a similar opinion. Now, to take this forward, I would like the judges, Mohammed sir and Amit sir and Nishtha ma'am, to retire into a breakout room along with Akshita, who's our sub-event head. She'll assist you. And you guys can come out with the verdict, and you guys can go ahead and announce it later. So Tushar and Shuchi, if you guys can facilitate that, that would be great. Just a moment, judges. The technical team is just sorting all of this out.
Superb. No issues, yeah. No issues. I learned so much. I'm going back richer as a much better speaker now, learning from each and every one over here. Really.
That's so great to have you say that, you of all people who've had.
Honestly, and I love what your faculty spoke. I love what your teachers spoke, what your principal spoke, what Puja ma'am spoke, and what I loved it. It was so inspirational, and I was like, wow, amazing. I'll tell you one more thing. You know, why I could connect with Amit so much was when I was in class 9th, guys, you know, I had failed in class 9th, which means my juniors had become my batchmates, and my batchmates had become my seniors, and my seniors had become my super seniors. But ultimately, despite flunking in school, failure, you know, school, they really would tease you, right? I went to a Premier B school. I went to IIM Calcutta, and I got the topmost placement on campus. So don't get bogged down by failures. It's all right. It happens. Right, guys? And that's why I could connect with instantly with what Amit was speaking. I could see that, oh, that's my story. Yeah.
In fact, there's a confession that I would like to make here.
Yeah.
Honestly, if these topics are given to me, at least I can talk for myself, and given only 10 minutes to prepare, I would be damned. I would be here to talk the way these people have. An honest confession. All right, Principal Ma'am was also sharing that, you know, in our time, we never had such kind of opportunities. At least in my area, we never had it at all. And I was like completely blown by the way you people structure your thoughts. In fact, as I told you, remember that it's not English speaking, it's communication, thought structuring. And today I train people for communication and thought clarity. And I could see every bit of it. And I was like, oh my God, some of the points, some of the, the movements from one point to another, those movements gave me goosebumps, because I just could not imagine that at this age, people could come up with something like this. There is a theory which is in logical communication, that the premises should lead to conclusions so that they don't look like judgments. And I was so happy to see, it being materialized by such young people. I don't think I deserve to be the judges. All right. It's amazing. It's actually amazing.
But also, Amit, you also mentioned in the beginning that the judiciary is meant to be respected. There's no doubt about that. So, Advocate Nishtha. So, I do not know at that time you're talking about the judiciary of the nation, or the judiciary as in the judge, the three of us over here.
Yeah.
I think, it's about both those things, isn't it?
Yeah.
We as judges also are playing, we are at par right now with the jury of the country, probably. Isn't it so? We are utilizing the same bits and pieces of our logical, consonants in order to mark all these youngsters. So I think we are at par with them, and while we're doing that.
No,
Absolutely, Nishtha. Nishtha, I like your dimples. So there's a poem I would like to recite to all of you. Again, you will be able to connect with that, especially Nishtha, You're not your age. The poem is by Erin Hansen called Not. Erin Hansen writes, you're not your age, nor the size of clothes you wear. You are not a weight or the color of your hair. You're not your name or the dimples in your cheeks. You're all the books you read and all the words you speak. You are your croaky morning voice and the smiles you try to hide. You are the sweetness in your laughter and every tear you've cried. You are the songs you sing so loudly when you know you're all alone. You are the places that you've been to and the one that you call home. You are the things you believe in and the places that you love. You are the photos in your bedroom and the future you dream of. You are made of so much beauty, but it seems that you forgot. When you decided, you were defined by all the things you are not.
Your energy is infectious, sir. And I must say that, if at all it does seem that you're able to gauge the very unseen out of me at this one point. So I'm very elated to hear this from you.
To all the judges, I believe the room has been allotted, and if you could move out to the breakout room with Ayan, where we can get our winners of Duel of Dispute. And to all the judges, it was surreal to hear you all, and it is for me, it has been a great experience to listen to you all. So you can start joining the breakout room.
How do I join the breakup room? I'm not very technically.
There will be a pop-up on your screen.
Okay.
Just wait for a second.
Sure.
I believe you guys must have received the pop-up by now to move to breakout room number 1.
No, I'm afraid I haven't.
No, nor have I.
Okay.
Okay, yes, now I did.
Number 4.
Okay, yes, let's all join that.
So I believe, so to all the participants, thank you for participating, and I know you're anticipating it for the results, but I feel to kill time, maybe we can hear from the top 9 participants who have literally gone through, we have gone from 120 to 60 to a top 9, and if one by one, if they would like to speak up and talk about their experience on the event, it will be a privilege for us. So if Diana, if you could start.
Or should we pick up?
Yeah, Diana, if you could start, I'll go according to the list.
Yeah.
Rihanna.
Okay, so I think the experience was beautiful. Like, more than listening to myself, I loved listening to the other people, especially in the not only in the first round but also in the final round. So many people had so much to speak about with so much of enthusiasm. Like, the way they quoted poems and quotes, it was so beautiful. I think there's a lot more that I have to learn when I am presenting my points in the future. And yeah, I would love to continue participating in all of the events that PSDS has in the future. Thank you so much for this platform.
We are glad you learned something.
Thank you, Brianna. I believe next is Armana. So if Armana would move forward.
Yeah, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to speak. I'm really glad that I have tried to take part in all of the fests that HR College organizes because they always turn out to be a lot of fun. I always know, like, I take back a lot more than I originally came with because I used to think I'm a decent enough debater, but then every time I'm competing with anyone from HR College, I realize, oh my God, there's so much more to learn and do and deal with. And obviously, Vanshika Di has been one of my biggest inspirations, along with Manu Shresht, and also it's great participating, and I'm really glad I got to be here and hearing the speeches from the judges and the principal and Geeta ma'am. It was really enlightening. So thank you.
It was really amazing to listen to you all. And next, I believe we have Vaishnavi.
Yeah.
I totally agree with Brianna. Like, the choice of topics was like amazing. I loved hearing from like everyone. And also, this was my first time participating in a debate. So it was an amazing experience. Thank you for that, I would say.
It didn't look like that it was your first time though.
Coming to the finals in your first event is I believe an accomplishment. I believe Vanshika also agreed with me. It's an accomplishment itself.
Vanshika, please speak something to us.
Thank you so much.
Brilliant job, Vaishnavi. I think everyone here in the OC also was so much in awe when they heard you say that, because they've seen how rigorous the shortlisting process was, and to make it here in itself is a feat, and you really outdid yourself even when you were performing. So it's really looking forward to you then joining us for more endeavors, and you should take up debating. You're a very brilliant orator.
Absolutely.
I'm very flattered. Thank you.
Next, I believe we have Shreya. Shreya Arora.
I too had a great experience. Like, I usually participate in daily events only, but this was time, like, outside. Like, if it's a Mumbai college, I guess. Like, I had a lot to learn, like, from the other speakers as well as the mentors. More than speaking, I think that was another aspect of this which I really enjoyed. So I'm looking forward to participate in more events.
I would like to take this opportunity to plug in a little bit. We always keep on saying that it's a national extravaganza literary event of the cuff, but I would want to say that we have gone international. We had many people from foreign countries participating in our event, and it's an honor and privilege to be part of such a big event and to sit with such great minds and listen to all the speeches.
Yeah, that was like the best part, the diversity. Everybody was a part, so we got to know a lot of things, that you don't get to know when you're just to a specific region. I had a great time.
100%.
We're so glad to hear that. I guess next is Sanya. Is Sanya here? Yeah.
Yeah, first of all, I would like to thank for this opportunity. And what I wanted to say is I'm just speechless because my story begins from a small city, Panvel. I don't know how many people know this city even. It's just a small city. I stay here and my schooling is of Panvel. And then afterwards for junior college and all those things, I started traveling and all those things. So first I was very introvert and shy. And then my journey began like traveling, meeting people, and then I began to learn things. Yeah, so life goes on like this. So today I am really nostalgic kind of thing. I have no words, and this is national event, and I qualified till final. I think this is something more than winning for me. I really say that because I've seen many ups and downs in my life. So this is something I have no words. And our judges also said, our guests, they said such beautiful words. And so this is a lot for me. This is something, such a nice wealth I have. I can never earn it, how much ever efforts I put in. This is the real wealth.
Saya, honestly, yeah, the story resonates with our principal Pooja. Pooja also said the same thing. Amit sir said the same thing, and I believe I speak for everyone. You also, even at such young age, act as an inspiration for us. So thank you for participating. It was an honor to do this for us.
Thank you, sir.
Next, I believe we have Aisha.
Yeah. Aisha Merchant.
Oh, hi. Hi. So I'm also from HR. So I'm in my 12th currently, and I was really skeptical to come here because we have prelims and everything going on, and because like none of us studied online. Is the principal like
Yeah.
So yeah. So we didn't. We studied, but like we weren't sure about it. So now we've all our offline prelims and like everything's been like really tough. So like teachers are just like yelling at us and all that because now we can't copy or anything. So I was just like having a very low time of my life. So and then my teacher was like, "Are you mad? You're going to go for a debate or something? How do you have so much time?" And then I just felt like just doing it because it's like a break kind of thing. And I'm just so glad that I came in because I think I've learned more than I've learned in this whole 2021. What I learned through all this, and I'm just so happy because like nothing good has been happening since the past 1 month, and like now thinking about boards is even more scary. So thank you for like just lifting my mood and giving me this motivation to study and to continue in HR so that I can continue with the club or something like that. Thank you so much.
Aisha, I would just like to continue, like add on to that. Don't worry about your boards. Absolutely. Like, don't worry at all. When I say this, trust me, I've been there. Don't worry. Okay. It's all gonna be fine. Just stay positive and keep going. Everything will, fall into place. So yeah, all the best to you. And kudos to her.
Yeah, and secondly, you can check out the chat also. There are many people who are saying keep going. So
Yeah, everything will be fine.
Also, there's one more thing that I would like to add. I mean, for all of us who are at HR and me personally being a part of PSDS, I think it's one of the best decisions that I have ever made so far. I really didn't know when I entered HR how I should be going about, what clubs to join, what to do. And the committee, the core committee, the people here are so warm and so sweet. Vanchika, our chairperson, our president herself. I mean, she's such a sweetheart all the time, motivating us. You're telling us, go ahead, go for it, participate, take part, go ahead, national events, take part. I mean, it's all been so warming and so sweet. Not only Vanchika, but also Manushkesh and all the 3 vice presidents, the heads of the different departments. It has all been so beautiful. I'm sure the other 2 events will also be amazing. And the events that we had in the past were also, really amazing experiences. So thank you so much to the whole PSDS team.
Thank you, Brianna. Next we have Nikita.
Yes, Nikita. Can we, Nikita, are you there?
Till Nikita reconnects, we'll move on to Manya.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for giving all of us this opportunity. I think the last time I had participated in a debate was in school. That was around 2 years ago. And we had to stick to one side of the topic, and we had to question the person who was against the topic. So you always keep contradicting that. Oh, this can't be right. But once you start contradicting your own points, you think more and more. So it's like, oh, this also starts making sense. So it's really difficult, and I think I think this is the first time I'm coming across such an event, and with such topics and with such ideas. And being a CA student, we wake up in the morning, we attend lectures, revise, go back to sleep, and the same thing continues every day. And I think this is the first time I'm participating in an intercollegiate fest. So it has definitely given me a break from the monotony, and I'm so glad that I missed my lectures today. I feel really happy right now.
Thank you, Manya.
Thank you so much.
We are privileged to have you. Next is Nuha.
First of all, I'd like to thank you all for organizing it so well and giving us all this opportunity to speak and share our thoughts. I'm an introvert. I don't usually participate, and stage is not my natural environment. But this was for me an exercise in coming out of my shell, and I'm glad. I'm so thankful for the opportunity.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Nuha. You said you're an introvert. It didn't look like it. The way you spoke.
Yeah.
Well, you were just amazing. So.
And I remember you calling up because of your international number issues. And I completely loved the way you participated and you spoke. I love your accent. So we are so glad to have you on board. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot, all the participants. Is Nikita here in the room?
Yeah. The results are not announced yet. What if she's the winner?
all of us are anticipating for the results, but
yeah.
If you know what, let's give the opportunity to Vanshika, to say a few words.
Thank you, Adit. I think just merely listening to what all the participants had to say and then see how that reflected on the OC's face was what made my day. More than the debate, I loved seeing how how warm everyone is. So all the participants who were saying this is the first time they're debating, or that they're an introvert, or that they debated last in school. I think y'all really said something that will stay with the PSVS team. I'll tell you why. Because we do debate, we do events, we participate. But one thing we all have, which is a common goal we share, is to help people then come out of their comfort zone and to be able to do something new, explore new horizons. And you saying that, merely hearing that meant a lot to us. I speak to the whole team, for Manu, for Geeta ma'am, for all the vice presidents, the reason is all here today. I think thank you so much. Your words will stay with us for a lifetime, more than the results of this event. I think what will go down for posterity is how well you all did and how warm you all were to us. The PSVS entire team would like to thank all the participants for the team. And now, since I've spoken on behalf of the team, I want to take a moment as chairperson to thank the OC and the organizing committee who on a Saturday let me tell you, even all the first year, second year students have myriad of assignments and projects and lecture submissions which are getting marked. And they have come in sports, in suits. They've been at it since morning. They've had calls till 4 a.m. I've seen their stories. And they've really, really been at it. So hats off from Manu, from all the vice presidents, from everyone at the SAS, to the entire course, to the organizing committee of Dual of Dispute. Of course, event head Disha, who has spearheaded this. I love seeing the OC smiling at me. Event head Disha, all the event heads for Dual of Dispute, Akshita, Ajit, we have Smriti, then we have Mitali, we have Ibrahim. And of course, I'm remembering on through your reels because they all made out such amazing trending reels. So yes, Disha, Mitali, Ibrahim, Akshita, Ajit, Smriti, hats off to all of you all. Hats off to Vice Chairperson Ayan, who is hard at work right now with the judges. They made trending reels. They officially launched PSVS India's PSVS and Snapchat India's collaboration. Hats off. I think the moment I heard that, I was so elated. And all of y'all, if y'all are wondering how to then be a part of future PSVS events, please make sure you're stay tuned to our page PSVS HR on Instagram, because we try to make it a point that whatever we do reflects on the page. So we have 2 more national events coming up, like y'all have been told by the OC. We have 2 more opportunities for y'all to then participate and shine at the national level. And y'all, if y'all stay tuned to PSVS HR on Instagram, y'all will see the brochures coming your way, y'all will see registration links coming your way, and y'all can then looking forward to y'all taking part for the next 2 events, and we'd love to host you all for the same. To all the qualifiers here, as well as to the audience that is watching us. So yes, those were my 2 cents. Back to the organizing committee. Adit, do you want to take over?
Yeah, Vanshika, thanks a lot for this such kind words, not only to our OC, and Nikita called me, by the way, and her intern is paid out, so she's trying to pay her intern provider so she can get back an event, but it's a very genuine reason, and she thanked all of the core committee and the OC members here for organizing this event. And in that, I take this opportunity to thank people who are not upfront, but they're behind us, continually supporting us. All the 3 timekeepers, Tanya, Rajas, Dev, and of course the OC members who were making calls whenever we had a meeting, they would turn up. So there are a lot of faces who you will not see here, but we have to appreciate them behind the back. Even Kanchan with the social media. So thank you all the OC members for helping us out.
I don't want to miss out on anyone. So yeah, Gaurav is also there, like smiling.
Oh, yeah.
He screen recorded. So yeah, thanks to you, to Gaurav.
Thank you all for this opportunity. Thanks.
Thank you.
Lastly, I want my event head, Disha. Come on, Disha, you say a few words.
Just a minute. Yeah. So it's actually so wonderful hearing Vanshika and everybody. The response is actually so overwhelming. You can say like I'm drowning in the overwhelming response right now. I can see everyone's grinning faces, and yeah, even my chats are blowing up. Everybody's
Yeah.
Disha is on mute, I guess.
Yeah, Disha, we can't hear you.
You're on mute.
Wait, we'll unmute her.
I guess you have changed the mic.
So this it's funny because Disha's internet has been acting up day in, day out, and
We remember all the meetings where it, messed up.
we know how like Disha is trying hard to get back internet, but Disha has been supportive throughout, and I couldn't believe like we had such a better team. Couldn't think of any better team organizing this event, and I thank all the participants being here. I know we all are eagerly waiting for the results, even I'm waiting. So hopefully the results will come and they will announce the results. So yeah.
Shruti, you are on mute. Like, we would like you to speak up.
I don't know what to say. I'm just like taking it in that this event is finally ending after, I guess, months of preparation meetings and all. I don't know how to feel, but I'm just happy that the event went so well. And of course, even I am waiting for the final results. I'm so excited to see who wins. I guess the results are done now because I see Nishtha ma'am. Oh, all the judges are here now.
Welcome back, judges.
Thank you so much.
No, all the participants are eagerly waiting for this moment. And
So are we.
So I'll wait for Ayan to come so Ayan can move forward with the proceedings. And
Yeah, he's there.
yeah, the floor is all yours.
Hello, everyone. So I'm sure all the participants must be extremely anxious, waiting the result and just wondering what discussion was going on in the judges' room and what conclusion we came to.
The big fight happening, huh? The big fight happening. I mean, Nishita, you almost gave me a punch, but thank God online hai, so matlab, she hurt her hand. Now see, if you she's banded her hand up because isko jitana nahi. I don't say there's a big fight happening, big boss show happening inside. Then Amit said, no, this one's going to win. And then he gave me a punch. But I said, maar lo bhai, jitna marna hai, maar lo apna computer ko aap damage karoge.
I was the nastiest one, right?
Yes, I missed all the fun in the breakout room.
You definitely did.
That was like the confession room, like in Big Boss. So Big Boss jate hain, and there was a big fight happening inside. And finally we came to a conclusion. And I know you all are sweating with that. But anyway, let Ayan take it forward and let you all
Do you
sweat.
want to
It's
ask
okay.
us any queries before we move on to the results you made? I'm talking to the participants specifically. If you want to know anything, if you want to know how have we marked you, what is it that was in our minds while we were marking you, anything to that regard, we could have that discussion right away, and then we'll just move on to letting you know the winners. Anyone? No, all clear? So our judgments will not be questioned.
Sorry. May I speak?
Yeah, Raman.
Yes.
Yes. Sir, Mohammed, sir, I have a question from you. I want to know my marks because I am my first time पहली बार मैं debate competition में participate कर रहा था. So मैं please आपसे मेरे marks पूछ सकता हूँ?
So Ramit, I know.
I think the marks are confidential, if I'm not mistaken, Ramit.
Yes,
because normally, as a policy, as a rule, everyone's marks are not disclosed. But trust you me, all friends square, जो decision है, I don't even know कि आपका नाम है कि नहीं है इनमें. ठीक है, अभी जो आने वाला है. It's all going to be fair and square. सब कुछ. It's all.
Ramit, forget about your marks. Okay, let me tell you, if this was your first participation, no, I think kudos to you, and you deserve a good round of applause there.
Absolutely.
Okay, for taking out that shot. All right.
Absolutely.
So, forget about your marks.
Thank you, sir.
Nobody's going to
Absolutely.
Even the judges are not going to remember your marks. Okay, na? So don't worry about those things.
For all of you, for the future, I would just like to say this one thing, that, public speaking is a skill. You can learn it at any point in your life. And I come from a profession where on a daily basis, what I'm doing is public speaking. I'm standing there at the courtroom, public speaking. So public speaking is a skill. You can always enhance yourself. You can continuously, you have to deal with this fear of first witnessing yourself in the mirror. Once you're able to deal with yourself, you're able to see what kind of expressions you are having while you're stating anything. That is the moment you become ready for public speaking. And at any portal, whatever be your age, whatever be your experience, you would always have those sweaty palms like Major Sir was explaining it to us initially. Now that specifically is eustress. Eustress psychologically is a good amount of stress that you should have in you so that you can ace your performance. So that is not something you should be afraid of. How should you control your anxieties while you're standing at a portal or you've switched on your Zoom cameras now is take up good 30 seconds, relax yourself, don't listen to anybody, and literally explain this to yourself that nobody else knows your content. You are the king of your own content, okay? So please put up a very confident face and say whatever it is that naturally flows in your speech. Of course, you'll be speaking something sensible. So I'm talking about the turncoat event specifically, where you're afforded much less time of preparation and you have to be very instantaneous, very spontaneous. So take up this 30-second rule. I usually call it the 30-second rule of confidence. So don't imagine anything over here that I'm going to win or anything, nothing. Just take up these 30 beautiful seconds for yourself. Imagine that nobody else knows what you're going to say. You can do it all and you will be able to. Public speaking is a skill, and practice will definitely make you perfect. So whoever it was who was saying that, this was my first time, I think you're racing it. Your first time will make you better for your second and onwards. So all the very best to all of you for the future. And I think we should just straight away let you know the winners. Could we, any heads up? Geeta ma'am from the coordination team, anybody, any heads up? Shall we commence with the result?
Yes, ma'am, you can begin. Absolutely.
Yes, Major Sir, let's start with you then.
Okay. So now But let's see how many hands up. Who's sweating to the results? Let's see. Anyone sweating? Yes? No one? Okay, some hands up. All right. Okay. Whether the subject was couples should sign short-term contract instead of marriage, or talent guarantees success before the hard work, or Mumbai should be made the capital of India, or abortion should be made illegal, or only the rich should be taxed, or the drug addicts should be helped rather than punished, or every successive generation is born with a more potent mind than the previous, or movies are better source of entertainment and learning, or personal audio devices, headphones are better than speakers, right? When that was subject, all of you were winners. And now coming to announce one name. We'll be announcing 3 names subsequently, but that's a different thing. 2 more names will follow. You want to hear the second runner-up first? Or the winner first? Or the first runner-up first?
Second runner-up, so good like.
Okay. The prize for the second runner-up turncoat event of HR College 2021 goes to, if you say that the second runner-up is Brenna Fernandez, you would be absolutely wrong. If you say the second runner-up is Armana Randhawa, yes, you would be again wrong. If you say the second runner-up is Vaishnavi Shetty, you would be again wrong. If you say the second runner-up is Shreya Arora, would you be right or wrong? We'll come to it. But if you say the second runner-up is Sania, you would be wrong. If you say Aisha Merchant is second runner-up, yes. Now, Aisha Merchant, you would be wrong again. But if you say the second runner-up is Nikita, you'd be wrong. Mania, you'd be wrong. Noha Sharif, you would be wrong. So, second runner-up is none other than abortion should be made illegal, Shreya Arora. Please give a big hand to her, ladies and gentlemen. Now I go to Amit Bhai. Amit Bhai, you may announce the first runner-up.
All right. I never knew that army people could be so sadistic in nature. I mean, I was not a participant and you kind of stopped my heartbeat. So I'm going to be very generous with you guys. I'm going to directly come to first runner-up. I am not at all good at keeping suspenses for so long. Okay, guys, congratulations. The first runner-up is the first speaker of the event, which was Brianna Fernandez. Congratulations, Brianna, for such a wonderful performance. Okay, congratulations.
Thank you.
And yeah, I would now invite Nishtha over to you guys so that she could announce the final. Yeah.
Yes, even I won't take much time, but I would like to ask you any guesses. Who's going to be the first? Just once. Any guesses? Any one of you?
Noah Sharif.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you who the winner is. The winner is Vaishnavi Shetty. So many congrats to you, Vaishnavi. Could we see you?
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
It was a brilliant performance by all of you.
And I'm so glad that 2 of the winners were from my, previous round, which I was judging. So that makes me really proud. I don't know why, but it does.
And I must also tell you that the difference between the first position holder and the second and third one in totality was only 2.5 marks out of a possible 120 marks. So the winner got 111.5, the second one got 110.5, and the third one got around 109 or 109.5. So it was this thin, wafer thin margin, that kind of defined it. So it was extremely difficult for us, but I'm pretty happy that the results, the scores, etc., the more or less it was all unanimous. So congratulations to each one of you. Brilliant job. Okay.
Congratulations
Thank
to
you
all
so
the
much, sir.
winners.
Congratulations to everyone who won: Shreya, Brianna, Vaishnavi. I mean, even I personally had so much. I got to learn so much barely by listening from your speech. And I think it was a great experience for me as well. I'm sure Vanchika here would agree. So now, to take this forward, I would like to call upon Geeta Sahu ma'am, our faculty in charge, our backbone, to thank the judges and take the closing ceremony forward.
Yes, of course, I can't thank the judges enough. They've been with us for the past 4-5 hours now, and thank you so much to all the 3 judges, Major Muhammad Ali, Nishtha, Amit. Thank you so much for being here today. And of course, to all the participants, to all the winners, all the happy faces over here. And as a formal vote of thanks, I must begin by thanking the principal of our college for gracing this event, and also the entire core committee along with the FYs who put in so much effort for a brilliant third, a series of the third event for Off the Cuff. And this was absolutely outstanding. My 2 brilliant presidents, Vanshika and Manushesh Rao, the vice presidents, Ayan, Varun, and Yash, and of course, the entire team for today's event, which was headed by Disha Agarwal, along with the subheads, Ibrahim, Adit, Akshita, Samruti, and Mitali. Congratulations to all of you all. This was just brilliant effort on your part, which has paid off very well. And to all the 3 judges, we would be very happy if on another occasion you all could visit our college and we could host you there for an event, or we could actually have an event which is which you're conducting all by yourself. We'll be very, very happy to host you in our college. And have I missed out on anyone by any chance? Vanshika, have I missed out on anyone?
No, ma'am.
No.
Thank you.
And
Do you have anything to add?
Yeah, I thought it would have been a good idea if all the 3 winners could say something. In fact, if anyone wants to say anything, that's fine. But if the 3 winners could just say a few lines, we would be happy to hear from you.
Yes, ma'am, sure. They can go ahead and do that.
And ma'am, we also had the participants, the qualifiers, share very, very heart-warming stories about how it is their first time. And thank you to all those who shared that as well. And as ma'am rightly said, if we could have the 3 winners come take stage and share their experience, we would love to hear you all. So I think we can start with Shreya. Shreya, over to you.
Yeah, first of all, thanks a lot. I did not expect, but yeah, I actually had a great experience. As everybody said, the topics and everything was great. The organization was like, there was no, like the flow was really great. There weren't any technical errors, because organizing on such a large scale, there are a lot of things that go behind. So I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I really like the kind of reactions and feedbacks that the judges have been giving us so far. And I'm really looking forward to be a part of Mood. Like, it was my first time like participating, as I already said, outside of like my state, Delhi. So I had like a great experience, and I'm looking forward to participate in more events that you guys organize.
So Shreya, when I was reading out the names, I said so and so. Shreya Arora, we'll come to her. Then I moved on to other names.
Yeah, I understood it when you. Yeah, I got a
that?
slight. No, but you were creating such a suspense. I thought you'll again. No, this might not be the case.
All right.
Yeah. Thank you.
I think we'll move on to Brianna with that.
Yeah, so I would say sir did such a phenomenal job in announcing the results. I wasn't even a participant and my heart rate was heightened. But sir, you really made us feel like we were in an offline fest. So thank you so much for that. You reminded us of what it was like to be in an auditorium physically. And yes, like Ayan was rightly saying, over to Brianna.
Thank you once again to everyone here, the whole PSGS team, the judges, our teacher in charge, our principal Pooja ma'am. Thank you so much. I mean, this has been such a wholesome and a wonderful event. I am not someone who's really very good at debating. I just keep trying. This year I've been trying a little bit with competitions. Otherwise, it was always just once at school. So I was really happy to witness this event, to see all other speakers brilliantly giving their views, and our judges adding so many insights and speaking so well and telling us how we did. I think this was really beautiful. Thank you so much, and a big clap for the organizing committee.
I would also like to point out something here. Brianna, when I look at the topics, you actually, despite the fact that you had a slightly atypical topic, as opposed to the other ones who generally would have heard about something like this, it was all the more impressive. So, good job there. Really good job.
Thank you so much, sir. This coming from you means so much.
No, it was very nice. Everybody was good, but it also matters, that 5 to 10% of luck factor, that what topic comes to us. But then you again take that into your stride. I think that's very commendable.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for those inputs to Brianna. And I think with that, we can move to the winner of Duel of Disputes, Vaishnavi Shetty. Vaishnavi, you can go ahead and say a few words now.
I would first like to thank AHR College and PSDS for this wonderful opportunity. At the start, I was very nervous and, with no expectations, but I won and I'm very surprised. I would like to thank all the judges, especially Amit sir, because he was my judge during the preliminary round, and he was very inspiring and really put me at ease, I would say. So thank you. And yeah, this was a great event. Thank you so much.
That means a lot. Good.
Thank you for that, Vaishnavi. And I think with that, I'd like to pass on the podium to Vanchika, our chairperson, who will say a few words.
Thank you so much, Ayan. I think we've all, when the scores were being tabulated, we had such a wholesome interaction session. It was so nice listening to the OC, the participants, all the qualifiers talk about their experience, and I count myself lucky that I got to address them there. So I think they've heard from me, and they've just reinstating what I was saying back then, that this year we've gotten a lot of opportunities, and we couldn't be more grateful to college, to our teacher in charge, Gita Sahu ma'am especially, to the kind of organizing committee and the team that has joined us on board this year. But what really stays with us is when we have a participant come up and say that I was helping step out of my comfort zone, or a PSDS today's event was something. We had a participant say that I'm in 12th and I was so stressed, and this is a good part. This is something good that happened to me in months. And I think that's what is the goal here. That's what stays with us. That's what we all really treasure beyond anything else. So thank you to all the participants. I can't lay enough emphasis on that. And everyone's already spoken so much about the judges, and I think that's still falling short of how brilliantly they've conducted the session today. It's not easy. I know there've been a lot of rounds of the debate, and they've wholeheartedly spent so much of their time gracing the event with their presence. They've taken the time out to then advise our students, create the hype for us to be able to, really give it their all. They could have just been distant and come and, announce the results, given us the Excel sheet. But thank you so much to all three of you. I think I speak for the entire core committee when I say that, we're really blessed. We count ourselves very lucky to have an esteemed panel such as you all on board. When we told our college students and we were circulating the message in the group, the response we got was overwhelming after we put up a little description about yours on our page. And I think the comment section on that post itself is testimony to the kind of feelings we all harbor for your accomplishments for our editorial team to merely list down and fit it in the Instagram word limit was a challenge in itself. And I think that speaks volumes about how lucky we are today that we got to have you all on board. So thank you to the judges. And of course, thank you to the participants, the organizing committee, and of course, our teachers in charge. And thank you. And Manushree, when I speak, I speak on behalf of the entire team of PSDS, and I speak on behalf of my co-committee, my brilliant vice president. I would like to take a moment and I would like everyone to give it up for vice president in charge of Dual of Disputes, Ayan Ali Shah. I would like everyone to give him a huge round of applause because this event from inception to now has been carried out beautifully and meticulously, I should say, and hats off, Ayan, brilliant job done there. And yes, I think we're really pumped now. We have 3 brilliant events behind us, and we have 2 more national events coming our way. We have 2 more off-the-cuff events. We're very pumped. I think you should see the kind of enthusiasm the organizing committee members share with respect to the ideas that they have, or the Instagram reels they want to put up for shout-outs or for countdowns or for even filters, Instagram filters, Snapchat filters. So please stay tuned to the PSDS HR Instagram page. We have 2 more national events in store for you, and we promise you all will enjoy them as much as we enjoy hosting you today. So thank you, and
thank you, Vanshika. Thank you so much. You have kind of gotten me excited. I genuinely want to come over to your college once. All right. You owe me a cup of coffee. You guys, Ayan, Vanshika, you guys owe me a cup of coffee. All right.
We would love to. It would be an honor and much more than coffee.
No, I'll be very happy to be over there. And Ms. Sahu, thank you so much for inviting us, and it would be an honor. All right, and I would really look forward to it.
Thank you so much, Amit.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having all of us here. And Ms. Geeta, you have a wonderful lot out there, I must say. So thank you so much for having us.
Thank you so much.
All right, nice meeting you, Nishtha. Excellent meeting you, Ali. And let's hope to connect, post this event as well.
Meeting with the 2 of you. Absolutely. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Bye-bye.
So,
thank you very much, Geeta. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, judges. Thank you so much.
This time I'm like really overwhelmed by what all I learned. I'm not taking everyone's name. I would love to. I normally take everyone's names one by one. But thanks Nishtha, thanks Amit bhai. Great meeting you guys. Yeah, super.
I think before you guys sort of leave, I mean, Vanshika really overstepped on my piece where I wanted to thank you all because I've been personally interacting with you all and everything. But never mind, Vanshika, I'll do my thanking again. So, Nishtha ma'am, Ahmed sir, Amit sir, I mean, we all understand that the role of a judge is to sort of do justice to the role that has been given to them. That is of judging, which is a very important role, which you guys fulfilled with an immense amount of success. I mean, I can't even put that into words, so I will not. But what you guys additionally did was the experience and the stars that you brought onto our event was something unique. So not only did you guys sort of serve the purpose, but you also increased the grandeur of our event, which was honestly, unthankable. So, well, still thank you for that because, yes. And now I would also like to take a moment to thank our principal in charge, Pooja Ramchandani ma'am, for all the support that she has given us. It is her who has encouraged us at all moments, as I've already told you all. And then there's obviously Geeta Sahu ma'am, the one who's been guiding PSDS. She's been associated with us from the very start, and she's been very cooperative with me. I tell Geeta ma'am that, ma'am, we need this help. Ma'am, please join in at this time. And ma'am is always willing. There hasn't been even one moment when ma'am has said that, okay, I'm engaged with something else or whatever that it may be. But ma'am has always been of support. So thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for that. Now, I would also like to thank the team, well, PSDS OC, because they have put together this event and they have been the ones who've really been working with me. And obviously event head Disha and my sub-event heads, Mitali, Adhit, Ibrahim, Smruti, Akshita, all of them. If I missed out someone, my bad, I'm sorry. So all of them did an amazing job. You guys were brilliant, and had it not been for you guys, this event would not come into place. And lastly, I would like to thank the audience and the participants, because even assuming we had all of these things that I have already spoken about, had it not been for the participants and the audience, the event would not have worked, because it is the audience, it is the participants who are the heart and the soul of the event. So thank you all for being here. And I mean, I am falling short of words right now to thank everyone who has done such a tremendous job. Everyone has excelled and basically fulfilled what they were expected to do. So thank you all for being here. And I think with that, I would like to bring this ceremony to a close. So Duel of Disputes, the third event of Off the Cuff, has now officially been declared closed. Thank you all for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye Tushar, bye Disha, bye. सबके नाम है, I'm going to take everyone's names, but एक तो you guys have put sub-event head, so and so you can't see the names also clearly. Yeah. I'm confessing to you all very honestly. Yeah. Really, very honestly.
Adit,
thanks, Adit.
No problem. My pleasure, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.